So we're now going to start our Class B in-cab inspection for our pre-trip. I'm going to turn my key to the on position. I'm waiting on my ABS and DEF lights to come on and off. That looks good. I'm now good to start my truck up. Okay, let's check my mirrors and my windshield. It's all clean, not broken or cracked. There are no obstructions or illegal stickers blocking my view of my windshield. My mirrors are securely mounted. My left turn signal works, right turn signal works, high beams, four-way flashers all work. My horn, it works. My windshield wipers and the wiper blades are securely mounted, not broken or cracked. The wipers wipe. The washers wash. I set my heater. Make sure it heats. Check my defroster. Make sure it defrosts. All right. I'm now going to check my emergency equipment. I got a fully loaded fire extinguisher down here that's securely mounted. I've got 3 red reflective triangles on the truck, and I've also got a box of spare fuses on the truck. I'm now going to build up my air pressure a little bit so I can test my parking brake. All right, test my parking brake. To do that, I leave it pulled out, put it in drive. I feel a tug against the parking brake, but we didn't move, so it's working properly. Next, let's test my service brake. So I'm gonna pull just a few feet forward. I'll then hit my brake, my truck should stop, and my wheel should not shift left or right. To do that, I push my parking brake in, put it in drive, just like that. Stopped, wheel didn't shift left or right. We'll have to pull forward very far to test our brake. Okay, I'm gonna leave that pushed in now. What I'm gonna do now is build my air pressure until I hear my governor cut off, which should be somewhere between 120 and 140. All right, there was my governor that just cut off. So hear that? I'm then gonna shut my engine off. Turn my key to the on position. I'm gonna apply the timer now. And I'm going to let my needles to stabilize. And then I'm now gonna push my foot down the service brake. I'm gonna hold it for 1 minute. During this minute, I should not lose more than 3 PSI on my air gauge. All right, my minute went by. I did not lose more than 3 PSI. So now what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to test. This truck has a low air alarm. That alarm should come on at or before 55 PSI on that gauge. To reach that point, I will pump my brakes, which will cause my air pressure to drop. Will come on at or before 55 PSI. All right, there it is. My low air alarm just came on. I will now continue to pump my brakes. And between 20 and 45 PSI, after I tested that service brake earlier, I kept that parking brake pushed in. I'm going to test it. It'll now pop out between 20 and 45 PSI. All right, my parking brake popped out like it should. And after that, we just need to check, my tester would get out and check my external lights. And that would conclude my Class B in-cab pre-trip inspection. Okay, all right, so let's go over the outside Class B pre-trip inspection. I'm gonna start from the front. I'm looking at my lenses, make sure they're all clean, proper color, not broken or cracked. I'm then gonna look underneath my vehicle, look for any puddles or colored fluids down here that would indicate any kind of a leak. Okay. So, I'm gonna look at all my engine and transmission hoses in here, make sure everything is secure and not leaking. Let's take it to the other side. All right, guys, we got 3 fluid levels to check. We're gonna check, make sure my coolant reservoir, make sure the fluid's above the add level in there. I'm then gonna use my dipstick, check the oil level, make sure that is at adequate level. I'm also gonna check my power steering reservoir, make sure that is at, the fluid is at adequate level in that. Let's go to our steering system. We got our steering box right here. It's securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, not leaking. The hoses coming from it are secure, not cut, cracked, or frayed, not leaking. Our steering linkage, which consists of our pitman arm, our drag link, pitman arm, drag link, tie rod down here. All of that, our joints, cotter pins, it's all present. Nuts, bolts, all present, securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. Let's go to our suspension system now. We got our spring mounts. We got front and rear spring mounts, securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. Not missing any parts. We've got our leaf springs right here, securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, and not shifted. Shocks right here, securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, and not leaking. Here's our brake hose. Our brake hose is securely mounted, not cut, cracked, or frayed, not leaking, and the fittings are present. Our brake drums and linings down in here, we're going to make sure it's securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, free of oil, grease, and debris. Let's go to my tire. My tire is evenly worn across the top. I'll use a tread depth gauge. Make sure it has at least 4 30-second tread depth. I'm going to check my sidewalls for any cuts, cracks, or abrasions anywhere in my sidewalls. Let's find my valve stem and cap on my tire. I'm going to check and make sure it's securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, cap's tight. It's not leaking. I'll then use an air pressure gauge to check and make sure my tire has adequate air pressure. I'm going to look at my rim now. My rim is securely mounted. It's not bent, broken, or cracked, and there are no illegal welds on it. The bolt holes are not too worn. My lug nuts and studs, all present, securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, no rust trails or shiny thread. All right, guys, we got a fuel and a DEF tank on this truck. Fuel and diesel exhaust fluid tank. We're going to check and make sure they're both securely mounted to the truck, not bent, broken, or cracked, not leaking, the caps are tight, and that the hoses coming from them are securely mounted, not cut, cracked, or frayed, and not leaking. My side mirror right here, I'm going to check and make sure it's securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, and clean. My battery box is right here. I'm going to check and make sure it's securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. I'm going to make sure all the connections in there are secure, nothing in there, none of the lines are cut or cracked. I'm going to check for any signs of corrosion. All my lights and lenses down the side and on the back. They're all clean, proper color, and not broken or cracked. That concludes the Class B outside pre-trip inspection.